high school?
In Gregory.
Oh, right there in Gregory?
Yeah, in Gregory. Yeah. We had an old high school and then they built a new one. They built a new high school. But it was,
I don't know why I thought you guys were from Kingsville.
no, we moved over there when the kids were little. No,
I thought you guys were from Kingsville.
no.
Well, I knew that. Of course, gonna go to Lynch. I had that little house that Robert lives in now, over there in Gregory.
I don't remember you going over there.
Yeah, I remember seeing Gregoria sitting in that. I can remember the house. You walk in on the. Actually, there's a little, the driveway, and then a little wood kind of in front of the
Yes,
porch. And you
yes.
walk this way,
Yes.
and the door's right here. And I remember you walk in the house, and in the corner, I never saw Gregoria anywhere else but that chair. Because she didn't have any legs.
Yeah.
And she'd sit right there. And then the couch was that way.
Yeah.
And then the kitchen was over here. And then you walk in a little bit, the living room area. There was a hall to the rooms. I never went to the rooms, but there was a bathroom in the hallway towards the back.
Yeah.
And Robert's room was in the front. I knew that.
Yeah.
And then he had all those little dogs, Chico, Chica, and
I know they
Vato, and I don't even know all those damn dogs' names. And the big old Rottweilers in the yard. But I got one real memory of Poppy is he had a flashlight, and he was trying to give me this flashlight, and I couldn't turn it on. It was like you had to push a button in the back to turn it on. I was 3 or 4. And he took it from me and he turned it on. He pushed a button and he flexed his arm and he said something in Spanish.
Oh.
And but yeah. Yeah, I remember those damn dogs chasing me all over the place. They're Robert's dogs.
Yeah. He said that one time because they died or whatever, but he said that when they were teenagers, David had a black dog, and they were going to move or something, but they told Robert to take care of it, so when they came back they would come and pick it up. And Robert said that dog got away, Mom. After they left, it got away, so I got another one, but it was a real ferocious dog. It was just like the one that David had left in the backyard. So David, when they came later, about months later, and David said, I want to see my dog, I want to take it home with me, and and Robert didn't have time to tell him not to go in the backyard. So David goes, the dog attacked him.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
You don't remember you. Yeah.
Robert was laughing. He said, I didn't know what to tell him, Mama. But they didn't take it away because he was barking and growling and all of that. But no, I'm so glad David is doing real good in school. I'm
Nice.
so glad. Yeah. He's different. He looks different now. Yeah, and I'm so glad you went to see Marcel. I'm so glad about it. Was he working?
Yeah, he was on light duty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's still working.
Okay. Qué bueno. Qué bueno, Papa. See, but I forgot, Papa. I forget a lot of stuff. Because I forgot. Becky takes me to the doctor all the time. And this is my aunt. And Becky says, what? What are you, mija? And the doctor's real nice. He's Indian or something like that. But he's so nice, Papa. He's very nice. It's like talking to a friend.
Good.
And everybody's getting shots in their eyes. Melissa, Carol, all of them are getting, and the doctor told me about it. I went to the doctor. She's a black woman. And Becky took me, and she says, well, you're going to need a shot in your eyes and on and on. And I said, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. You need them. And I said, no, I'm not. I don't want to get a heart attack, and I don't want to get a stroke, and I don't want to die. And she got up and slammed the door. She didn't want to talk to me no more. So I didn't get my glasses since I haven't gone to the doctor. But now he gave me the name of a doctor, Mastro. He says he doesn't give shots. And he says, why don't you want to get shots? I said, because I don't want them to pop my eyes. No, they're not gonna pop. Well, they will mine. I said, I don't care. They will pop my eyes. No, they won't. I said, yes, they will. But I argue with him. But he's a very nice person. And sometimes Haru takes me to, but she found out I ordered. 160 some I thought. I ordered some pants. I got a lot of pants. And they should be here in 2 days, 2 more days.
On Amazon?
No, I don't know how to work those. The Amazon and all of those. I ordered through the catalogs. But anyways, I didn't tell him. Well, she knows. But it's okay.
You do look like your grandma now.
Yeah, I do, Papa. I do.
What was her name again?
Teresa.
Teresa. That's
Teresa.
right.
Her name was, what was it? Lopez. But she puts Hernandez. No, she's Hernandez, but she uses Lopez, her maiden name. And my mom and Maria told her, use your real name. No, I'm Lopez, But she never changed her name. She was real nice. She was real nice. Of course, she beat us with ropes and everything, but she was real nice.
Was it her tree and the flowers?
No, it was my mama's tree. It was in the front, like there's the door and the trees outside on the side of it. Real beautiful big tree. But it wasn't a tree. It was a plant. And she would go every evening after work, and we'd go with her, and she'd sit there and make cigars and smoke them. Yeah.
She probably knew what it was. Obviously.
She knew.
She probably is the one who planted
knew.
it.
She probably did. No, but we would go every day in the evening to get food for the cows' feed, and it was two big holes up, but they would put all the feed. It was cane, not sugar cane, but cane, and then they would cover it, and then it would stink real bad, but we loved to eat it. We could, and spit out the
Yeah.
yeah. And my grandma would fill the bags with it and carry them on her shoulders to feed the cows. But we would go with her, and they would be real sick about. And the doctor would give my mom like a chocolate medicine, but it was like chocolate, real ugly, and we had to eat it. It was horrible. But we didn't learn. We didn't know any better about it. No. And my grandma would go. She would go every day to get the feed, and it was like we'd go down on those things, the holes. It was. We were not afraid. To us it was fun, and it was good to eat. we would get the husks and spit it out and get some more and chew on it and spit it out. And my grandma never said anything to us.
Who taught you how to cook?
Huh?
Who taught you how to cook?
Nobody. We never cooked at my house, in my mama's house. But we did make cookies. When my mom would go to the bingos with my father, my sister, and I would make cookies, we'd get a cookbook, and we'd be following the recipe, and then the recipe would grow big, and my sister says, "Which recipe are you following?" I said, "This one over here." She said, "Well, I'm doing this one over here."
Oh no.
But the cookies came out good. We would always cook and bake, and my brother made homemaking. We had to cook something to show it during, I don't know what you call it, but it would go to other schools and they would have to compare the cakes and cookies and all of that, and my brother would stay all night making a cake for me and the frosting and all of that, and he would win first prize.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I didn't tell the teacher.
Which brother?
Ray, Nayo.
Nayo.
We call him Ray. Nayo. And then on homemaking, I made a dress with a jacket, with a long sleeve jacket, and it was burgundy on the outside, pero the color was different on the inside, and then the covering inside the jacket. I won first place out of so many schools.
Wow.
Yeah, and they took my picture, and then the man died. He had a heart attack. The banker that took pictures and all of that, he died. But it was we had a lot of fun
Where were you born?
in
Right-
Gregory.
right there in Gregory?
Yeah, it was me, Mel, Carlos, Nayo, and my sister Grace, all of them in the same school. In Nayo, we were in the middle grade, and when Nayo, one time Nayo, it had snowed that day. It never snowed, and there was the high school was on this side, big high school, and there was the room where we went to the toilets, and it was a small room, and I was coming down, and I was looking, and I saw him, but I didn't think nothing of it, but he was hiding, and then a teacher got out of the class and was walking in front of me, and he threw a snowball and hit her on the face.
No.
He took off running. She didn't know who hit him, but it was going to be for me. But Miss Goodlet was her name, Miss Goodlet. Yeah.
Did Willow ever tell you what happened to his parents? Did Willow tell you what happened to his parents, his mom and his dad?
Oh, they died. My Willow, my
No,
grandfather.
Roberto. Bobby.
Oh, they died from old age, Papa. They died from old age. My mom had that. Of course, my mom had diabetes, and then she got older. She just got real sick, and then we had her in the hospital for about a week and a half. And then your mom was there with me. She stayed with me, and one night we were going to go to the house to sleep because we stayed with my mom all day. And there was a big tank filled with fish, and they were all asleep. And Sandy says, "Look, Mom, they're all asleep." I said, "Oh yeah!" I hit the tank, and all the fish ran and ran all over. But she died. I said, I pray for people to die. I do that. It's so many people. When we were there in the hospital, everybody was there. Was Rosario and all her kids, and my brother Mel and his son and Robert. Everybody. Their room was full. And Mel says, "Mercy, why don't you just say what you do and let my mother go?" And my father was standing beside her, and my mom didn't move her arms anymore. And I said, "No, Mel, just come on, Mercy. She's been suffering too much. She couldn't eat anymore. She was just drinking liquids." And then I said, "Okay." So I prayed 3 times, and she turned around and grabbed my father. He says, "Ya me voy," and she died. And then Maria, the same thing. She was in the hospital. She had liver cancer, and they did surgery, but the doctor just closed her out because she was too far gone. And then my mom didn't stay with her. Nobody stayed with her. They were afraid, and we were in Kingsville, so I kept staying with her at night. And then she would pray a lot and wishing that she could die. And I said, "You really want to die, Maria?" And she said, "Yeah, I want. Oh, yeah, I'm tired." She'd be in a lot of pain, and because they just closed her, and then when she fell from the bed, she spilled out.
Ouch.
And then they put her back, and they stitched her over again. And I was there for a week and a half with her, and so I said, "Okay." And she says, fix me up. And I brushed her hair, and I pretended, I put powder on her and lipstick and all of that. And I said, I'll be gone, Maria, for a little while. I'm going to to the church. And she said, okay. And she was just in pain, aching all the time. And so I went and I prayed, and then when I got in the elevator closed, but it wouldn't move, it wouldn't go nowhere. And finally I got it to work, and I went, and the doctors were already there with her because she died. And like with Deborah's grandma, she was real sick, but she wouldn't die. She didn't want to die. She was old, and she was just walking all over the house. She would go and she wouldn't sit down, and then she'd sit down and get up again. And then the caregivers that were there were two of them, and Deborah and me and Sammy went over there, and I said, Debbie, do you want her to die? And she says, what can we do? Or see what we can do. And so I said, okay. So I talked to the lady, and I talked to her, and I said, sit down. And I started praying with her and telling her that God was going to come for her and get her in his arms and take her with him. And I was just praying, and I said, okay, go to sleep, mija. And she said, no, I don't want to. I said, go to sleep, you're going to go to sleep, and Jesus is going to come for you. And so she just laid back, and so I started praying and prayers, and then she just died. And then the ladies were like, oh my God, you know. I said that's what I do, but I've done it so many times that it's nothing new to me, but I feel like I'm doing something wrong, you know.
No. Everybody's gonna die.
Huh?
Everybody's gonna die.
Yeah.
It's good to have peace.
Yeah. It's something terrible.
It's a rug. That's a slippery little rug. You need.
Yeah, every time Lisa comes, she slips on it.
Watch out for you.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I know how to walk on it. I don't sleep. I'm aware that it's funny, but Melissa comes and she sleeps on it, and then on that one over there too. Oh, Mom, why do you have this rug? I said, no, I can't take it off. But I'm gonna buy the stuff that you put on the bottom so that.
Buy some.
Yeah. Yes. All right, Papi.